What does success mean to you? Second question is, what does success look like to you? The third question for the day, what does success feel like to you? Welcome to the High Vibe Life podcast, where we are obsessed with all things manifestation, neuroscience, personal growth, and quite simply, living a life beyond our wildest dreams. I'm Moira Casava, author, speaker, podcaster, manifestation, and mindset master. Since getting sober 25 years ago, I've helped tens of thousands of women break through and achieve massive levels of wealth, joy, and freedom. Now it's your turn. Let's dig in. Welcome back to the show. We have a really short and sweet episode today, but one that I believe is so incredibly important. I'm going to give you 3 questions that I feel like we're not asking ourselves frequently enough today. So 3 questions, and then I'm going to give you a framework, what I call a 5-3-1 framework of something that I use in my life every day that really has led me to a lot of success in my life. You know, frameworks or mantras, or as my friend Robin Sharma says, brain tattoos, these little things that we pull out that allow us to shift, change, act, or pivot in an instant, make all the difference, right? I always feel like I refer to this success tool belt that I built and I continue to build to this day, that no matter what I'm up against, I can pull out a framework, or I can pull out a slogan, I can pull out a belief and a philosophy that I've heard over the years that fixes things in the moment, right? That pivots me, that allows me to handle the obstacle in front of me. And so that's what I hope to give you today in my 5-3-1, but I want to start with this. I want to start with the question, what does success mean to you? What does success mean to you? Now, throughout our lives, we're single, we're married, we have children, we're in different seasons of our life, the answer to that question changes a lot. What does success mean to you? So I want you to take a moment to either just pause this. If you're driving, just take a few minutes to kind of ponder that question. Maybe if you're at home or tonight, take out your journal and answer that question. What does success mean to you? Okay. And then we're going to take that a couple steps further. Second question is, what does success look like to you? What does success look like for you? Now, when we think about that question, at least for me, I start to tend to think about goals, right? It looks like I've achieved this. It looks like I've achieved that. Maybe, though, it also looks like I have this type of marriage. It looks like I have this type of relationship with my kids. So it's a little bit of a different avenue you start going down when you ask yourself the question first, what does success mean to me? But what does success look like to me? So again, pause the podcast if you're driving or wherever you are and just take a few minutes to answer that question, either in your mind or jot it down in your journal. The third question for the day, what does success feel like to you? What does success feel like to you? This is a really important question, guys, because for me, somebody that's an Enneagram 3, overachiever, type A, success looks like and means to me a lot of times achievement, right? A certain bank account number, a certain accolade in business, a certain following on social media, whatever those kind of metrics are, that's what I can kind of, assign to my goals as like, check, got it. But a lot of times over the years for me, that success, achieving those metrics, has been burnout, has been exhaustion, has been at the sacrifice of relationships in my life. And I had to learn that to me is not success at all. That success feels like accomplishment, but it also feels like balance sometimes. Sometimes it's not, right? There's seasons of that hustle and that push, but overall, success feels like balance. Success feels like, and I don't mean a balance in necessarily my energy. I mean a balance in my life, right? A balance to family and work and recreation. That's the type of balance I'm talking about, right? Where it's not just 80 hours of work a week and no recreation, no downtime, no family time, no friend time. There's a balance there of time spent. So what does success feel like? Is it a feeling of having respect? Is it a feeling of fulfillment? Is it a feeling of you've created impact? Because I teach this a lot in my masterminds and my group coaching programs, that every single thing that we are trying to achieve is actually only because we want the feeling behind it. We want the income because the feeling of freedom, right? Or the feeling that we're going to be able to have when we buy the car or buy the boat or buy the house. Everything that we want is because we want a feeling. If we want a relationship, it's because we really want the feeling of intimacy. We want the feeling of love. And here's the radical part of this, guys. Every feeling is available to you right now in this very moment. It might not feel that way to some of you, but it's true. You can choose thoughts that allow you to feel love, to feel connection, to feel impact, to feel comfort, to feel relaxed, to feel wealthy. Every emotion is available to you now. So to answer that question, what does success feel like, is really important, because you can start to lean in and cultivate those emotions that you think are on the other side of an accomplishment. You can start to feel that now. So I hope that really sinks in for you today, and that you can go back and ask those 3 questions. What does success mean to me? What does success look like? What does success feel like? Okay, let's jump into today's framework, the 5-3-1. I love numbers. I love, something like the, oh my gosh, it's escaping me what it's called when there is a word and each letter stands for the word. You know what I'm talking about. This is real life, guys. We're not cutting this out. I love something that is really quick and easy and digestible that I can just grab a hold of, right? And so this is the 5-3-1. I've got lots of frameworks like this. I have a morning process that I do that's 3-3-3. Today it's 5-3-1. And what this means is, what are your 5 habits? Number 1. And I really want you to write this one down. What are your 5 habits that you know you need to really operate at a high level? Not necessarily your craziest, highest, most high-performing level, but at a high level every day. Now, the reason I'm not giving them to you is because it's radically different for every single person, right? It might be a morning process for some people. It might be exercise. And I'm talking about daily, 7 days a week, because we know exercise can be crazy intense or a walk. It might be connection with your significant other. It might be playing the violin, if that's your thing, right? It might be writing. If you're a writer, you might be somebody that just needs to creatively get that outlet filled and write every single day. It might be prayer. It might be meditation. It might be yoga. It might be cold plunge. It could be so many things. Eating correctly, right, for you, that's way different for every single person. And so what are the 5, and I always say, what are your 5 to thrive? What are your 5 non-negotiable for you specifically habits that, man, I got to commit to these things every single day. So they can't be these radically hard things to do, right? But they've got to be 5 things that you just put them in your day. They become an ingrained habit that allows you to operate at a higher level. That's you really at the best version of yourself. So what are your 5 to thrive? 5 daily habits, okay? Okay, next, we're going to go with 3. Remember I said it's a 5-3-1 framework. So the 3 are going to change every single day. What are the 3 most important things I have to do every day? So you can call it MITS, M-I-T-S, right? Most important things. We've got our 5 to thrive. Those are our daily habits, different for everybody. Your most important things are different, obviously, for you, and they're different every single day. Some days it might be, gosh, I've got to nail this, the slides for this speech. I have got to have this meeting with this person that's under review. I have to get to my daughter's dance rehearsal, whatever it is, right? There, and I'm not just ever talking about just work. We're looking at all the categories of your life. You've got this big vision. You've got these big goals. What are the 3 most important things that you can do today that move the needle towards those goals, towards that vision? That's the question you're asking. So we all have 20, 30, 40, 50 things we should be doing in a day, right? We're all trapped in overwhelm. We're all doing a lot of the wrong things. We end up exhausted, not moving the needle forward. The reason that happens is because we're not identifying the most important things. So every day, yes, I have a list of 1,000,000 things I got to do. If you listen to my time hack process, you know this process for me, but I extract what are the 3 most important. If all else fails, if this day goes to, pardon my language, hell in a handbasket, these 3 things are going to get done. The way that you make that happen is you do them early in the day. You do them first, right? But for now, we're just talking 5-3-1. 5 habits, 3 most important things, and then the last one. What is one thing that you're doing at the end of the day that's going to further your success, your performance? That might be 5 minutes of breath work. That might be getting in bed and not watching Netflix, but reading a personal growth book. That might be putting down your phone and having a 15-minute catch-up session, face-to-face, voice-to-voice with your spouse. That might be going through your visualization right before you close your eyes. One of the most powerful things you can do to prime your subconscious mind before you go to sleep. What is the one thing that you can do, that you can put into practice at the very end of your day that's going to set you up for success the next day? This is where the wheels usually fall off, guys. We're exhausted. We fall into bed, scrolling. We fall asleep to the TV. We don't set ourselves up for the next day. It could be as simple as every night before bed, I'm going to review my day. Every night before bed, I'm going to review the next day. I'm going to get in my mind prepared mentally for what I need to do the next day. I do that automatically because I just can't go to bed without like some clear idea of what the next morning looks like, right? Otherwise, I wake up with anxiety. So every day, I can't even tell you, this probably happens 4 nights a week at least. Doesn't really happen on the weekend because the weekend's the weekend, but 4 nights a week, I get in bed, I turn the light off, and then I go, and I get up and I get out of bed and I walk down the hallway to the kitchen and I pull out my planner and I just glance at the next day and I go, okay, got it. You know, it takes 10 seconds, but I get in my mind, I've got this in the morning and then I've got this and then I've got this. So I really need to probably wake up a little bit earlier, get in the gym. I just mentally prepare myself. I know what's coming the next morning. So let's recap the 5-3-1. 5 habits. They should be so front and center in your brain, so clear, you know exactly what they are. And the next time I ask you this question, you can spout them off. 3, every day, ask yourself and write down, and you really have to write this down. That's a big differentiator between actually succeeding and not. What are the 3 most important things you have to do today? And then the last one, the 1. What's the one thing you're doing at the very end of your day to bring your performance to another level? Okay? So guys, I hope you answer those questions. I hope you take the time. Listen, the difference between radically successful people and the rest is that you're not just listening to this information. You're not just letting it kind of come in one ear and out the other, that you're actually putting pen to paper. You're answering these questions. You're putting your frameworks down and you're committing to the action. There's follow through. So I hope that's the case for you today. I would love to hear your thoughts on this episode. Tag me, send this to a friend, leave us a review if you would on Apple Podcasts, and we will see you next week.